I'm here at the 2016 edition of Dixon's Gunmakers Fair. And this is the 34th year that they've had this fair at Dixon's Muzzleloading shop, and I've been here for all but 3 of them, I think. The whole idea behind this is for custom gun makers to come together, and we're talking about muzzleloading gun builders particularly, to come together and show their wares, and of course be able to take orders and sell stuff. And there are all the parts manufacturers here, and it's really a huge event. Now I've put videos together for the last 3 or 4 years of this event, so it's a little hard to show you something different every time. So I'm going to try, but basically you can see just about any of the big custom flintlock builders in the Mid-Atlantic region. I mean, a good bit of the East Coast, really. Well, they will come up here with tables and have guns, and then there's just all sorts of neat things to see. So let's go around a little bit and see what we can see. Now, besides buying and selling, gun makers can come here to Dixon's and enter their guns into judging. And there are categories for first-time builders, for journeymen, and for master builders. And winning a ribbon here at Dixon's for your gun, for gun makers, is quite a big deal, and it means that you have produced something very good.
And the price in the maker, but probably onesie.
I am always a sucker for double barrel rifles. And here's a very interesting one, an over and under flintlock. I think this might be the first one I've ever seen in the flesh.
Yeah, I just didn't get back to it, so.
As most of you guys know, I'm a fan of Bucks County rifles, and this is a gorgeous one made by 18th century firearms, and it's got all the classic Bucks County features. Beautiful 50 caliber, 45-inch swamp Getz barrel. For $6,000, it could be yours. I'm here at Eric Ewing's table. He makes some beautiful horns and pouches. And if the light lets us, there's even a prize winner here last year at Dixon's. Well, I'm here with Ken Parker and Mitch Yates. Mitch Yates is a very good gun builder, and Ken is a client, and Mitch is going to tell us about this beautiful rifle they just built for him.
Well, the rifle is loosely based on an Isaac Haynes rifle, and Ken designed a lot of the artwork on it, and the 2 of us together worked together and came up with a very nice little left-handed Lancaster gun.
That's a beautiful gun. Let's take a little closer look at it, let people see how nice this is. I really like that patch box. I've got a kind of a similar one on a Dickert style rifle that Sean Webster built for me,
okay.
And I really like that more simple style without all the cutouts. That's just beautiful.
I can say I'm really happy with the one. It's more than I expected. But as you mentioned, some of the designs were mine, but Mitch really brought them to life.
Well, he knows his stuff. This is that beautiful hand scrape finish. Gorgeous rifle.
And here's a view of the cheek piece side of that beautiful Isaac Haynes rifle that Mitch built. One of the great things about coming to an event like Dixon's is that you can find things that you just simply can't find from the mail order or internet ordering muzzleloading houses. You know, like Track of the Wolf and Dixie Gun Works and October Country. They're all excellent. But you just can't find some of the things that you're going to find here, like these handmade loading blocks, or antler tip powder measures, or ball bags with antler tip spouts. Those are all really neat accoutrements that really everybody should have. But you've got to go to a really nice event to find them, because they're handmade by craftsmen, and it's rare that you're going to find anything like that in the big supply houses.
It's kind of tough to see it here because there's a big tent in front of it, but this is the actual Dixon's muzzleloading shop where all this started. Well, it is kind of hard to take all of the shop in. There's just so much here. The ceiling, as you can see, is just covered with guns. And that goes all the way down the store. And it's full of parts. And just about every accoutrement you would ever want. So, if you're in eastern Pennsylvania, it's well worth coming out here to Dixon's at any time, not just for the Gunmakers Fair. Okay, I'm over here with Dan the Horn Man. I see Dan at a lot of events, and I am buying a sweet little priming horn from him. Now, it is amazing to me that the master horners here can start with something that looks like this and end up with the beautiful creations they make.
But I kind of gave him that land just to help style. Profile shoot. You know, I did things like the sights real low profile. And then take a flame.
My friend John DeWald was elevated from journeyman status to Master Horner status by the Hornmakers Guild, the Honorable Company of Horners, just this past spring. And I'm going to show you his masterpieces that had to be judged by the other guild masters for him to be elevated, and it's pretty cool. Except for the glass lens and the magnifying glass, everything here John made of horn, including the rivets. It's just phenomenal, really.
Besides making absolutely beautiful powder horns, John makes some of the coolest horn cups. Makes me wish I had some single malt right now. Well, I'm over here at Dave Keck's table, which is knob mountain muzzleloading, and besides a fine array of parts, Dave is one of the best stock profilers in the country. So if you've got a piece of wood, he can make you a beautiful stock. I'm here with David Price, the famous swivel breech rifle kit maker, but he also makes beautiful single barrel rifles, and we've got a lovely Lancaster County rifle here. And tell us a little bit about it, David.
This rifle here is a rifle I built for. I built two of these identical. This one here is the mate to it. And this is my granddaughter Lily, who's a national champion shooter.
Hi, Lily.
And one of these belonged to her. And the difference on these of a full-size rifle is I shortened a 38-inch swamp barrel. I cut 2 inches off the breech end to make it lighter, so they're just under 7 pounds. So they're perfect for a young lady or a young boy or something like that. But they shoot every bit as good as a full-size rifle. In fact, Lily beats us all the time with hers.
Along with long rifles, you can find tomahawks and knives. And in fact, you can find everything you need to build them for yourself. Well, it's a good thing I left my checkbook at home, because otherwise this beautiful Fowler built by Tim Williams would definitely have me tempted.
This is a pretty cool thing at the American Long Rifle Association's tent. This is a Ferguson rifle. And this is a very early breech loader, actually. This trigger guard unscrews, spins around, right? And if you can see right here, that breech block drops down through the bottom, exposing the back of the barrel. Then you can push a ball in there and some powder, screw it back up, put some priming in the pan, and you're good to go. This was invented by a British officer during the Revolutionary War, but it didn't really catch on. It was used for a little while and then discontinued. All right, I'm at Nate McKenzie's table. He makes some beautiful guns, but the one that's really caught my eye is this gorgeous 58 caliber Jaeger.
No, it's a Christian Spring, an early Christian
Ah, it's a Christian
rifle.
Springs. I thought it was a Jaeger. I love the early guns. That's a beautiful rifle.
Well, that's it for the 2016 edition of Dixon's Gunmakers Fair. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you can get out here yourselves next year.